Good evening. Good evening, my host. Let's continue the disposal. I'm Kazim by name. We have so many things to do this night. Sorry for coming in late a little bit. Yes, on the disposal, we are successfully able to do how to calculate gain on disposal. Then let's go to a comprehensive question. Disposal at the end of the year. Disposal can come during the year. It can also come at the end of the year. Irrespective way, our own duty is to be able to get it done properly. Question number 9 on SOPI Limited. SOPI Limited. Question number 9 on SOPI Limited. Let's take that so that we can move on. We have during the year disposal. We'll know how to go about that. But let's finish what we are yet. Then later we do that. Okay. SOPI Limited. Okay, good. This is the question. SOPI, a public limited company, acquired two subsidiaries. They say he has two subsidiary companies, Okotoyi and Gbebodi, both public limited companies. The details of acquisition as follows. The details of the acquisition as follows. They've given me the date of acquisition, the date he acquired, Okotoyi Gbebodi. I will read through the question to ensure that there is no disposal. Because any subsidiary disposed, we don't consolidate. Even though we title the heading as a consolidated financial statement, if it has been disposed, we only calculate gain or loss on disposal. That is all. Then if it is gain, we credit return of the parents, and if it is loss, we debit it. Okay. Let's look whether there is a possible disposal. Before then, let me determine the group structure to know how many percentage he has. If you look up here, they say on 1 November 2003, return earning at acquisition is 150, and share capital acquired is 200. Gbebodi on 1 November 2010, 300. Okay. Share acquired is 300. Out of how many? I will ask myself, out of how many? I will go to the statement of financial position, go to the share capital. When I go there, I will see, oh, look at the share capital, 250 of who? Okotoyi, 250. And he acquired how many? He only acquired 200 shares. 200 shares. Okay, what is the nominal value? They say it is 1 naira shares. So total numbers of shares equals the values of shares all over nominal value. That means the 250 million divided by 1 naira, 50 million naira divided by 1 naira, which will give me 250. Then I will now say 200 over 250 times 100. That one will give me 80%. You go to the 80%. Yes. This is how we get it, 80%. And for the other subsidiary, which is Gbebodi, value of shares, you only acquire 360, that's giving me 60%. So that is the way we get it, using the share acquired divided by the total numbers of shares in the subsidiary. Okay, having got that, I will now read through the question. In my 15 minutes reading time, I will go through the question in case there any disposal of subsidiary. in case there's any disposal of subsidiary. If we look at this information 6 on October 20, on 31st October 2005, that is the reporting date. After accounting for the result of impairment test, SOPI sold 100 million shares in Gbebodi for 180. He sold 100 million shares in Gbebodi for 180. SOPI still maintains significant influence over Gbebodi. Oh, that means this, it has become from subsidiary to what? Associate. But it was sold at the end of the reporting period, no issue. The fair value of the remaining investment was 400 at that date. So he has lost control because the question told me, sir, SOPI still maintains significant influence. Because if he does not lose control, in which investment will maintain significant influence, that is an associate. So he has lost control. He sold 100 million shares. I will ask, how many shares does he have in Gbebodi? He has 300 shares. He sold 100. That means he remains 200. 200 over 500. Let me show you to see the loss of control. The loss of control. Yes, shares sold 100. Percentage of the shares sold 100 over 500 times 100. Percent of the share acquired by parents 60% minus the one he sold 20% will give me 40%. 40% is investment in what? Associate. Or total number of shares acquired 300. Shares sold 100. Share remaining 200. Percentage of the share remaining 200 over 500 times 100, which is what? 40%. Investment in associate. That means I must calculate gain or loss on disposal. I must calculate gain or loss on disposal. If not, it will not balance. Then let's go. Look at the requirements. Calculate gain or loss will have been recorded in the group financial statement on the sales of shares in Gbebodi. A. B. Prepare the consolidated financial position as at 31st October 2005 for the SOPI group in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standard. Okay, this is not possible for me to calculate gain or loss on disposal. I must open the necessary accounts. So first page of the book, I will only leave it blank, or I write gain or loss on disposal, write the formula for the gain or loss on disposal. Then I go to the next page to open everything. Don't forget, when I will open everything, the subsidiary disposed cannot be consolidated. That means in the statement of financial position, all necessary asset and liability of the subsidiary disposed is gone forever. It cannot be consolidated. Only what I need is that what? Gain or loss on disposal that will be taken to the retaining of the parents, as the case may be. If it is gain, we credit, and if it is loss, we debit. Okay. Now, let's go to the question. Let's go to the question. Don't forget that Gbebodi has been disposed. So if I want to open everything now, PPE 700 plus 390, I cannot consolidate Gbebodi. It has been disposed. I cannot consolidate Gbebodi. It has been disposed. Head to maturity investment 30. Head to maturity investment, 30 million. Okay, let's see. I'll open everything. What are those things that I need to close the account? I need what? I need adjusted retained analysis of the group structure. I will analyze the group structure. Analysis of the group structure. Okotoyi, Gbebodi, date of acquisition, retained as a date of acquisition, effective interest, NCR, and cost of investment. So that any information about acquisition, cost of investment details, I'll put it here. If I need anything, I don't need to go to that lengthy question again. I'll just look at my table. I've analyzed the group structure for them to see. Then what is the next thing do I need? I need adjusted retained subsidiary as per SOP, what they report, 280, I open it down, and 290, open it, Okotoyi, Gbebodi. Immediately after that, I go to the net asset of each one of them, Okotoyi, determination of net asset subsidiary, I open his account, date of acquisition, date of consolidation, and post, I'll write it. That of the Gbebodi, determination of the net asset of subsidiary, date of acquisition. This one is date of disposal, not consolidation. Date of disposal, because date he lost control is the date of disposal. Then post. I haven't said that I'll take the goodwill. Goodwill, I'll open the account separately. Okotoyi, Gbebodi, the same way, cost of investment, add NCR, purchase consideration, net asset, goodwill. Then I will leave two line space. I don't know whether there's going to be impairment or not. After impairment, goodwill at DOC. Retain any of the parents. I open it. NCR value at DOC and DOD. I open it down. Then I will now start reading the question. Immediately I'm reading and posting. Immediately I'm reading and posting. We have done one already. The group structure, 80, 60%, 80% for what? Okotoyi, 20% for NCR, 60%. I will fill in the gap immediately. By saying, okay, $80, 20, 60, 40. I will go to the question. He has given me retaining for Okotoyi 150, retain at date of acquisition for Gbebodi 210. He has given me the net asset at acquisition. He wants me to work from behind. Net asset 400 for Gbebodi 800. I'll put it immediately. Both the retain and the net asset, I'll put. I will now say, okay, no worry. Don't worry. Net asset 400. What is the retaining? 150. I'll go and pick the shares. The share is 250. That means there is nothing changing in the net asset. I'll go to Gbebodi. Gbebodi share 500. Retaining 210. They've given me the net asset at date of acquisition to be 800. I will sum this up. Oh, it does not balance. What happened to the differences? I will sum this up. Let's see from the 800 to give me evaluation surplus on what? 90. The second leg, where is it going? You cannot take the second leg to statement of financial position because it has been disposed. Both the property and the evaluation surplus on it must go. That is it. Okay, I should take it again. I will take it as many times as you want. The beauty is that you get what we are saying here. They've given me the net asset. They say the net asset at the date of acquisition. Look at the net asset at acquisition, 400. The retaining is 150. I go to the shares in Okotoyi. What is the shares in Okotoyi? 250. So 150 plus 250, the net asset is equal 400. I also do the same thing for the next one, which are giving the net assets, Bebody 800. I will say, okay, 800. What is the share capital? 500. You have worked out before, 500. The return is what? Return is what? 200. 200. 200 plus 500 is 700. I will compare it to what is the net asset at reporting date to get whether it's a revaluation surplus or deficit. Let me share the solution to you so that you can see what I'm saying. Look at it at date of acquisition, share is 800. The return is 210, share capital is 500. I will sum them up, 500 plus 210, remove it from the total asset. 500 plus 210 give me 710. Remove it from this, oh, there is a revaluation surplus of 90. I will now investigate. The question must give me the details of what happened, why it does not tally. There have been no new issue shares. There is no new issue shares of in group since 2003. And the fair value adjustment have not been included in subsidiary financial record. Any increase, say it has not been included in the subsidiary financial record. Any increase in fair value of the net asset over the carrying values at acquisition is attributed to plants and equipment, which is what I will now go 800 minus 710, 800 minus 710, which is giving me what? Don't forget, the plant and equipment is depreciated at 20% per annum on reducing balance basis. So I will go to the question now. Revaluation surplus 90. That means I need to charge depreciation. Where is the second leg going? Where is the second leg going? I cannot debit the PPE for the revaluation surplus because it has been disposed. Assets and expenses of the subsidiary disposed cannot enter book. No, I cannot do that. I will now go. How do you want me to calculate depreciation? Depreciation now for 2 years because they disposed at the end of the reporting period, which is 2005, and they disposed for 2 years. But at date of acquisition, there is a revaluation surplus of 90 times 0.2 for year 1 will give me 18. 90 minus 18 will give me 72. For the year 2, I will charge depreciation 0.2 times what? 72 will give me 14.4. Total depreciation to charge will now be times 2.4. Times 2.4. What do I do to the times 2.4? I will debit the adjusted return of the subsidiary involved. The subsidiary will dispose. I will debit its retained earning for it. Okay. Okay, having said that, any question before we go further on that? Any question before we go further on that? Any question before we go further? Any question before we proceed further? Any question? Okay, in the absence of no question, I will go to the next adjustment. Said, I will debit, don't forget, adjusted return will be debited for the society we have disposed. Society we dispose, I will debit the adjusted return. Look at the division, 32.4, 32.4 for the division, 32.4. How do we get it at 2.4? Don't forget, there is a revaluation surplus of 90. No second leg. No second leg. 90. The surplus, 90. Depreciation in year one is 0.2 times 90. Because they say it is reducing balance basis, it will give me 18. 90 minus 18 will give me 72. Then for the year two, because we only dispose at the end of year two, it will give me what? 14.4. At the total depreciation, year one, year two, will give me 32.4. If you need to prove with that one, I will go to the next one. In additional information, what is the next one saying? Said, Okoto is so plant and equipment to SOPI on 12 November 2005. The transaction was completed at an after selling costs. Okay, they've agreed solely to, okay, Okoto is solely to SOPI. Okoto is parents selling it to the who? Okoto is the subsidiary selling it to the parents, SOPI. The agreed price of the EC is worth 15 million after selling costs. After the selling costs, the transaction complies with condition of IFRS 5 of no current asset held for sales and discontinue operation, which you know how it is being treated. When we say something is held for sales in line with IFRS 5, you know those conditions. I know my other professional colleague must have done that and throw more light on it on IFRS 5. So management must committed to sales. The sales must be probable within 12 months. If you want to classify it as held for sales, it must be at the beginning of the year. We classify it as held for sales because we must sell it during the year, and the depreciation must not be charged. Depreciation cannot be charged if it is held for sale transaction. We cannot charge depreciation because it must be sellable in its immediate sellable condition. We abandon it. So, and they told us that the held for sales, the plant and equipment, value the valueless cost sales in individual account of Okoto as November. This plant had a carrying value of what? 11 million. No depreciation. No depreciation on this asset has been charged for the year ended 31st October. No problem. No depreciation. What is the carrying amount of the asset? 10 million. Even though you comply with it, there must be what? There is no sales there was no sales. That F for sales is not working because it contradicts by selling it to the parent. So the parent has been, is the buyer of it. Please give me a minute. Let me open doors for somebody. Just a minute, please. Sorry for that. Okay. Okoto is so plant. Don't forget, he sold the plant. He has classified the plant as held for sales in line with IFRS 5 because the plan said the transaction complies with the condition of IFRS 5, no current asset held for sales and discontinued operation for disposal as an asset. That is why he separated the asset as held for sales. He separated it, no current asset classified as held for sales. It must be disclosed separately in the statement of financial position 15. But he was selling it to the parents. He was selling it to the parents, which means it has contradicted another standard which says you cannot sell to yourself because you are a single entity. Parent cannot sell to subsidiary. Subsidiary cannot sell to parent because they are a single entity. You cannot claim that even the sales was done as arm's transaction. It's not possible because the standard says even though that is happening, you must still eliminate. That is what it says. Okay? Even though you are going to say, okay, this transaction comply with IFRS 5, will bet the condition for S for sales is met, but it's solely to. What will I do? I will not say, okay, add it back to your PPE. Don't classify it as F for sales again. You credit S for sales account and debit your PPE for the asset. So that this is what we have done. We say, okay, this is what needs to be done. The asset cannot be classified as F for sales. The asset cannot be classified as F for sales. That is why you credit minus 15. You credit minus 15 and debit the PPE. You go and debit the PPE plus 15. Plus 15. And he sold the asset that agreed price of 15 million. 15 million. He sold it at agreed price of 15 million. Whereas the carry amount of the asset is 10. He has even made profit from the sales. Because the question says he sold it, agreed price, carry amount is 10 million, and the agreed price of the sales was 15 million. That means he has made a profit for selling of the plant. You cannot make profit from your subsidiary. Also, parent cannot make profits. Therefore, the profit must be eliminated. That profit must be eliminated. How do I go about eliminating the profit? It is very simple. What is the carrying amount? 10. The agreed selling price, 15 million. Even though the money has not passed, that is why he classifies it as F for sales, that is collecting 15 million from the parent. The cash has not transferred, but it's what? Accrued. It's not on cash basis, it's on accrual basis of accounting. That means it has been earned already. So the returnee declared 15 million is part of it. What do? I say, oh, out of the 5 million is part of it, the profit. Out of that profit, the returning you declare, I will debit the 5 million by saying, okay, debit the returning of the seller, which happened to be for the unrealized profit on plants. I will debit the return unrealized profit on airport sales, 5 million. I will debit the return of Okotoyi and credit the PPE -5 and credit the PPE -5 and credit the PPE -5 and credit the PPE. So that the carry amount will go to 10. But they did not charge depreciation because it is airport sales. Because when it is airport sales, no depreciation will charge. Now it is no longer airport sales. We must charge depreciation, and depreciation must be done, you say, at 20%, because they said in the additional information 1, don't forget, for we to consolidate, there must be uniform accounting policy. So an increase in favor of net over the carry amount, rather than equipment is depreciated at 20% per annum on reducing balance basis. I only need depreciation of 1 year, because it must classify at the beginning of the year as what? As for sales. So I would ask, okay, depreciation of 10 million must be charged on the carry amount. Depreciation of 10 million on the carry amount must be charged. I will not charge that. I will charge 10 million on the depreciation for the 10 million times 0.2 for the depreciation aspect. Let's go there. You will see what we have done. Depreciation to charge, depreciation 10 million times 0.2, which is 2. Which is 2. Which is 2. Which is 2. I'll just charge it. What do I do to the depreciation? I will debit the owner, which is Okotoyi. I will go and debit his account by 2 and credit the PPE for the depreciation. I will debit his account, depreciation 2. Then I will credit the PPE. I will credit the PPE -2. For me not to go further, is there any area you want me to go down on this particular IFRS 5 standard that I believe you must have done IFRS 5? Prof. Bayomi will have taken that. Okay, thank you, my brother. Say I should take the depreciation again. Okay, I will do that. Now, what we are saying is this: depreciation will not be charged because it was classified as airport sales before. They will not charge depreciation because it was classified as airport sales initially. But now it's no longer airport sales. Why? Why? Because the active buyer, the subsidiary sub, is the parent. And parent cannot be active buyer because the zoo says you cannot sell. The seller says you cannot sell to each other, let alone making profit. So he has made the profit has been dealt with. It's only the depreciation. He classifies it as S for sales. No depreciation will not be charged. It's no longer F for sales. I will not charge depreciation. I will not charge depreciation by saying the 10 million times the percentage. And they told me in the question that is the group policy to charge depreciation on 20% reducing balance basis. But I'm only charging for 1 year in this particular 1. That's why I say the carry amount is 10 million times 0.2 to give me 2. I will now credit the PPE by 2 and debit the retained earning. Look at it. Credit the PPE. Retain any of the portfolio to which happen to be the seller. And just like the way you normally treat your unrealized profit on inventory or plant, then depreciation minus, I will credit the PP. That is all. Any other question before I proceed? Because we need to start cash flow this immediately after this question. Then we'll see pending doing the year disposal. We pen that in the year disposal. I will send to the platform doing the year disposal. Then you look at the question, go to the question and answer. If you have any issue, because time is not on our side, and we have to do a reasonable job up to 80 or 90%. That is what the management wants. So immediately after this, we move to cash flow, then the group cash flow will be done too. The group cash flow. So if you have any question, you can quickly drop it under 1 minute. SOPI has purchased a debt instrument with 5 years remaining to maturity. Purchase a debt instrument. That is financial instrument. Is it an asset to purchase or a liability? How do I know? Is it the financial asset or financial liability? Anytime you hear purchase, buy, you assume the position of the organization. You are buying an asset. Just like shares, if they issue shares to the public, you purchase shares. You are buying financial asset under equity. Financial asset can be classified into 2. It's either equity or debt. You can also buy debt. Like a government bond is a debt, it's not equity. Treasury bill is a debt, it's not equity. Debt under financial assets, they are intended to you to pay you interest on maturity if you want to hold it to maturity for the purpose of collecting the interest and the principal. That means it must be amortized based on financial instruments. Is there anything you have held to maturity? You hold your asset to maturity, just like government bond, which is for 3 months. You hold it to 3 months, treasury bill 3 months, and you collect the interest. Characteristics of the cash flow, you collect the interest and you also collect what? The principal. The standard says it must be amortized if that be the case. He said if it is asset you are buying, if it is asset, that means you are purchasing share, equity. You are purchasing equity. Equity can only be valued in 2 ways. He said it is fair value through profit or loss and fair value through other comprehensive income. This is going to be a discussion for another day. But what's related to this particular one, he said he's going to add it to maturity, and he purchased it. I will assume SOPI in the question. He purchased it and he's going to add it to maturity. That means it needs to be amortized over the useful life of the. They will give me the what? The effective interest rate, which has been given in the question. If you look at it, say the purchase price and the fair value of 30 million that day, the instrument will be repaid in 5 years' time and at amount of what? 37.5. Don't forget, I will ask the question. I will ask the question. Has it been recorded? The financial assets. If you look at it in the financial statement, see it has been recorded. The purchase price has been recorded because they say heir to maturity. Heir to maturity, 30 million. It's taking 5 years to mature. Taking 5 years to mature. Taking 5 years. That means he must have credit the cash to pay for the instrument and debit the financial asset in the non-current asset. That is why you are seeing it. That is why you are seeing it. Okay? They said $30 million on date. The instrument will be prepaid in 5 years' time at an amount of $7 million. The second carry fees interest of 4.4 per annum, interest rate of 10% per annum, effective interest rate of 10% per annum, and the fees interest rate has been received and accounted for, but no accounting entry has been made other than the recognition of the original purchase price of the interest. But look at one condition he gave us here. He said the instrument carry a fees interest. Fees interest. Share of 47.5 per annum on the principal amount. This is what it terms as principal. If not, I will have made it 4.7% on the 30 million, the purchase price. But he has conditioned me to another condition. He said the fees interest is based on what? 37.5 million and no issue. 37.5 million, no issue. 37.5 million. What will I do now? I will now say, okay, let us do the needful. Let us do the needful. How do we do the needful? I will now amortize. Let me show you what is happening. Now, because we only need 2 years, I don't need to do it all to 5 years because I'm consolidating in 5 years. And when you look at when he bought the asset, financial asset, he bought the financial asset on what? On November 2003, and we are consolidating October 2005. So next thing, I will now say, okay, I only need interest of 2 years on it. What do? I will now amortize. From 1st 11 October 2003 to 31st, that is 1 year. Opening value of the financial asset, 30 million. Effective interest rate of 10%. 10% of 30 will give me 3 million. Then fees interest rate, 4.7% on the principal of 1.76. Then 30 plus 3, 33 minus 1.76 will give me 31.24 for the following year, which happened to be on the year of consolidation from 1/11/4 to that. What is the closing balance? Will now be the opening balance here. Effective interest of 10%. This one is fees. After subtracting it, I'll have 32.60. And I said, okay, he only recorded the purchase price. He only recorded the purchase price, and the value is 32.60. And he only recorded what? I will now debit head to maturity 2.6, retain of the parent credit 2.6. That's all. That's all. That is what I will do. That is what I will do. I will now go. Return of the parent will be credited. I'll go to return of the parents for the credit. Gain on head for maturity investments, 2.6. Then I will debit the financial asset. I will debit the financial asset. 2.6. 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 I will debit the financial asset. Okay, any issue? Any issue? Any issue? Is there any issue? Yeah. Ask question. In case you have any question to ask, my brother put it on the platform. Let us address it now before we move to the next one. Okay, thank you for answering question. Thank you. Okay, please immediately you are done with this and before moving to go, before, okay, done with this and before going to cash flow, it's okay, no problem, I will do that. I will look at it. DOD 34, Eric page 6. Let me see, when we finish this, as I said, we are there. So your question does not related to SOPI anyway, does not related to SOPI. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next adjustment. Let's go to the next adjustment. Goodwill arising on acquisition of subsidiary was impairment tested on 31st October 2004 and 31st of 2005 in accordance with IAS 36, impairment of an asset. There was impairment of goodwill on acquisition of Okotoyi and Gbebodi. There was no impairment, okay? No impairment according to the question. It said on 31st October 20, after accounting for the result of impairment test, SOPI sold 100 million shares in Gbebodi for 180 million. Oh, sales proceed for me to calculate. SOPI still maintains significant influence over Gbebodi after disposing of the shares. The fair value of the remaining investment was 400 million at that date. Because that means investment has turned to associate and it is 400 million at as reporting period. No problem. The receipt of the sales proceed has been recorded in the cash flow. Good, because if you did not say so, I will debit my cash and credit sales proceed account for the calculation of gain or loss. But he now said he has debited the cash already. He has said, where does he put the second leg? My brothers and sisters, this is the problem with what? Disposal. He now said cash book, and as a reduction in the carrying value of the cost of investment in the subsidiary, as a reduction. When we are reducing a subsidiary, investment in subsidiary, it means we are crediting it. It means we are crediting it. It means we are crediting it. What he did is that he debit cash, which is correct. He has collected cash, and my cash will be increased by debiting it with what? 180, the cash proceed. But the second leg, he now credits investment in subsidiary, which is what? Gbebodi has been reduced. That means investment in reported in the non-current asset has been reduced by 180. I will now, please, this is the way they used to ask disposal question and purchase and dispose of interest equity transaction. This is always the way they used to ask it. My brothers and sisters, take note. Gbebodi is 340. Investment is reported 340. After he has credited the investment, that means the investment is not 340. How much he paid was not 340. It was when he sold parts and collected the cash, he now reduced the cost of investment. No. Which is right because he's not applying IFRS 3. He's recording it on costs. It does not calculate goodwill. We are the one going to apply IFRS 3 business combination to the solution, to the question they give us to derive the solution. Therefore, I will now correct the entry by saying debit cost of investment in Gbebodi plus 180 and credit my sales proceed account. Look at it. I will correct the entry by saying cost of investment, debit, 340 plus 180, the sales proceed. It was 540 before, or how much is 340 plus 180? It was 1520 before you now credit it. Okay, I will now credit sales proceed account 180. They've given me the fair value of the remaining investment. They've given the fair value of the remaining investment to be 400. Gain or loss on disposal involving NCI. I want to involve NCI in my calculation. No issue. If I want to involve NCI in my calculation, I can go each way. There is given fair value of remaining investment as 400. I'll put fair value of the remaining investment because in the statement of financial position, as at the year end, the investment is 400. Investment in associates, 400. 400. They've not credit sales proceed. That is not what they said. Let us read it together again. They've not credit sales proceed. They only say the receipt of the sales proceed. That means the money he collected, get the scope. The receipt, the sales proceed has been recorded in the cash book. They did not say he credit sales proceed. The receipt, the money he collected has been what? Been recorded in cash book. They did not say he credit sales proceed accounts. They did not calculate gain or loss. You are the one going to calculate gain or loss. They only said he collected receipt means he received of sales proceed. I hope that part is clear, sir. He said the receipt of the sales proceed. He does not say how much he sell it, he collected the money. Where does he put it now? They now go further by saying it has been recorded in cash book. Sir, get that point very well. It is very key to the good. If not, the goodwill will be giving you negative goodwill and the account will not balance. Now, let us agree this. If I sell a subsidiary, it will collect cash. It will debit bank or cash as the case may be in the question. The second leg will now go to sales proceed accounts for the calculation of gain or loss on disposal. For the calculation of loss on disposal. That is the normal treatment. The normal treatment is to debit cash, credit sales proceed. That is the normal treatment. But he is not doing that. He's saying he has reduced the cost of investment. The carry value with the cost of investment in subsidiary. Okay. I will now correct the entry by saying debit cost of investment 180 and credit sales proceed account. That is that. Oh, sorry. So it is the group policy to value non-controlling interest as its proportionate share of the fair value of the subsidiary identifiable net asset. Net asset. So it is the group policy to use share proportionate, no issue. I will not say, okay, let us consolidate. All is well. We can now consolidate. Adjusted retaining, after subtracting, I'll bring it down to 273. 273 minus 150 will give me 123 share of post. Then 290 minus this will give me 2576.6, which I will minus post of 47.6. Then goodwill, cost of investment 380. He said add NCI, share proportionate 0.2 times 400 will give me 80. 380 plus 80 will give me what? 460. I will now less net asset at date of acquisition, which is 400. The goodwill on consolidation is 60. Or alternative method, remove parent portion of the net asset from 400. That is, how much is the cost of investment? 380. Remove parent portion. You only bought 80% of 400. 80% of 400 is 320. 380 minus 320 will still give me the same thing, 60. Because it is share proportionate. The goodwill of the parent, when it is share proportionate, which belongs to what? Parent only. The goodwill gotten for using share proportionate belongs to parent only. For Baybody, 520, add NCI, NCI date of acquisition, which is what? 40% of 800 will give me 320. 320 plus 520 will give me what? 840. I subtract 800. This is the goodwill. There was no impairment, so the goodwill still remain at DOD, at date of disposal, as 440, as 40. Then having said that, I will not share the post based on the group structure. How much is the parent collecting from Okpotoi? 80% of 123, 98.4. And Baybody is 7.6 times 47.6, 25.6. The NCI value at DOC and DOD, DOA 80, 320. Share of post is collecting 20% of 123, which will give me 24.6, and 40% of the post, 47.6, which is giving 19.04. Plus sum the two together to give me 393, 339.04, and this one for 104.6. Why do you need to do that? If you get your net asset at DOC and DOD, which is the summation, just sum it up. DOC, 250 plus 7 give me 523. If I multiply 25% on 523, or 20% of 523, because there's no goodwill attributed to NCI. Get this logic. In case it's share proportionate, your job will be faster in exam. I will just put 0.2 times 530 will give me what? 04.6, and DOD 0.4 times 84.76, which will give me 339. This is the NCI value at DOD. NCI to be reported at date of consolidation. I will go there. NCI 104.6. Then I cannot calculate my gain or loss on disposal. I cannot calculate my gain or loss on disposal, which is net asset disposed. The goodwill is gone, 40. Net asset at DOD, 84.7. NCI value at DOD, I will remove it. Now give me 580. 580 minus a gain of 31.44. I will credit the parent with the gain of 31. If I don't want to involve NCI in my calculation, I will just say the sales proceed 180. Fair value of the remaining investment 400. So give me 580. The goodwill belongs to the parent only. I will only take the 60% portion of the parent by saying 0.6 times 8+7.6 to give me this as well. I'll remove to give me that 1.44. It is your choice, but you cannot do the two, and you cannot tailor it by saying you cannot give the heading gain and loss on disposal without involving NCI. No, you cannot say so. You can't say so. You will only say gain or loss on disposal. It now depend on the way you want to do it, go about it, and get it done. So I will not credit retain any. Gain on disposal was 1.44. With this, I cannot consolidate. I cannot consolidate. So you can go through the consolidation and see. You can go through the consolidation. No big deal on it. So that we can move. Before going to cash flow, can you ask question within 2 minutes? Within 2 minutes, 8:15, I'm done. How do you get NCI figure to be NCI? Follow the argument. Madam Dadinike, I hope I've answered your question. I hope I've answered your question. Thank you too. Yes, that brother that asked the question on Erica, can you please private chat me or let us talk so that I can explain it to you? Because if we have 16 minutes after 8, if I start taking that, my target might not be achieved for today. And there's a specific target. I don't know whether we can. Oh, good. No problem. So that is resolved. Now let's go to cash flow. Let's go to cash flow. I want you to listen to the background to the cash flow. Cash flow is one of the simplest area of the group in this syllabus. But the problem is that it used to be voluminous. By the time you see question, you assume that ṣé mo ṣọlọ́run ni 8 pages, sometimes 7 pages, 6 pages. You go to May 2016, the last time, over 15 years now, Cash flow has not been tested again. Group cash flow, IAS 7. Group cash flow have not been tested, and we are thinking that it might be tested this time, that, or let's just do our own part and believe open God to crown our efforts. Yeah, God will crown our efforts. When we talk about cash flow, what do we really mean when we are discussing cash flow? Cash can only flow in two ways. It's either it is inflow or outflow. All standards, they have one purpose that they want to achieve. For IAS 7, he wants us to know how liquidity, the source of your liquidity, and how you're able to classify it so that we know whether the business is doing well based on the operation. Maybe the cash flow generated from the operation can able to survive the business or not. So that any investor who pick the statement of cash flow will know immediately whether to invest in this. That is analysis of the cash flow. If the time will permit us, I have not one question which has been analyzed, then I will send to the group to see, so that so many activities nowadays is coming up because of exam and our own personal work. But by God's grace, we are going to get a proper landing by December or next year when the result will be released. You will be a qualified person in Jesus' name. Okay? No doubt, cash can only flow in two ways. It is either it is inflow or outflow. If it is inflow, it's a positive to any organization, and if it is outflow, it's a negative to any organization. It's a negative to any organization. It's a negative to any organization. Okay, I will say that. If you want me to define cash flow, I will just tell them this is how a company generates cash and how the company utilizes the cash. How a company generates cash, generates in form of inflow and utilize in form of what? Outflow. Does not need cramming. If they ask me further, what is the statement of cash flow? I will tell them particularly, I will put statements to my own in previous definition, because you asked me what is cash flow I have given you. You go further and ask me what is the statement of cash flow. I will also put statement to my previous definition. I will say it's a statement. Show you how cash is being generated and how cash is being utilized. How cash is being generated and how cash is being utilized. I haven't said that. If you want me to prepare cash flow in line with IAS 7, there is two methods, which is direct and indirect method. Direct and indirect method of preparing cash flow. The direct method is just simply saying preparing cash flow from what? The source document. For direct method, preparing cash flow from our source document. What is our source document? Like our cash day book, our cash book, our sales day book, all those journal book, we can prepare from it. Or using prepare indirect method, adjusting the financials of the organization, just as statement of financial position, just as statement of profit or loss, to prepare cash flow. That is indirect method. And for the purpose of this level, no more direct method, it is purely indirect method. Nobody can ask you again at this level, direct method. But if you want to know about direct method, maybe you want to be a lecturer in the future and you want to know more about it, you can private chat us. We will tell you how to go about it. Then having said that, what are the components of cash flow in line with IAS 7? Still operating activities, investing activities, financing activities. What is operating activities? Let's pick the activities one after the other. and we explain. I hope I'm not too fast. If I'm too fast, please, you can call me to order. You must enjoy your money to the fullest. You can call me to the order. Okay, no problem. So operating activities. What is operating activities? The standard make it clear. There is the key and the principal revenue generating activities of any organization, where the money is coming from. There is the key and principal revenue generating activities of any organization. Okay. Having said that, if they want me to list items under operating activities, cash received from customer is key to my activities. If I don't receive cash from my customer, the business will fold up and I will go into bankruptcy. Then he say, okay, cash paid to my supplier is key to the organization, because if you don't pay your suppliers, they will not supply. And if they don't supply, there is no continuity of business. There's no continuity of operation. Then cash pay in form of wages and salary. Cash pay in form of wages and salary to the employees of the organization is also what operating. Is it key to the organization? Yes, because if I don't pay my staff, they will not put in their best. They will not even work again. So it's key to the organization. Then again, we talk about cash paid to government in form of tax. In short, it's the last items under operating activities. It is the last items under operating activities. When we get there, you will see it. Cash received from customer for service render, cash paid to customer from service render. These are all operating activities. Now let's go to investing activities. Investing activities is very key. It is the starting point of any cash flow. My brothers and sisters, don't play with it. No current asset, no current asset is where they will report the investing activities that will serve as a clue for you. Okay, what is investing activities? Investing activities is very clear. It says the acquisition and disposal of long-term assets and investment. Long-term asset and investment. Now, my brothers and sisters, acquisition is English, disposal is English. Acquisition is just mean buy, disposal is just mean sell. We can modify it on our own, but if you are asked, you let it be in a professional way by saying acquisition. But we all know acquisition is buy and disposal is sell. So I can only say in my own way language, layman language, is the buy and sell of non-current assets and investments. I want to ask you, class, based on this definition, if they report in the non-current asset, let me show you one question. Because non-current asset is the what starting point of any cash flow. Starting point of any cash flow. Okay. Let me see. If they report in the non-current asset, if they report like one question, if they report in non-current asset, let me show you one. Okay, like this question. They report non-current assets, PPE, and development expenditure. If I ask you, class, they only report in the non-current asset, PPE, and development expenditure. If I ask you, class, how many transactions will it be in investing activities? Because non-current asset is what? Is the starting point of any. If I ask you, how many transactions will it be in investing activities? How many will you tell me? How many transactions Somebody has replied. Let's see another people. Okay. Let's see. Baliki Salami, thank you very much. May your blessing never cease. It is for transaction, according to the question, according to the definition of what? No current investing activities. He said PPE, I can buy, I can sell. Development expenditure, I can buy, I can sell. If they report another one, yeah. If they report another one, yeah. Let's say investment, it's because it's transaction, because no current asset is the acquisition and disposal of what? No current asset and investment. That is what he said is the acquisition. My brothers and sisters, note today, all non-current assets are investing activities. All non-current assets are investing activities. All non-current assets are investing activities. If they report human being here, Mr. Kazim, Kazim is what? Investing activities. So if they ask me to say, if they ask me to say that, okay, what are the transaction I'm expecting in apart from this one they reported, it is what they call the linkages. What are the linkages? What we can trace apart from this one, what we can trace to investing activities. What are those things? We said dividend received. For me to receive dividend, I must have invested. For me to receive dividend, I must have invested. That means investing activities. Dividend received is what? Investing activities. They are called linkages. Interest received. For me to receive interest, I must have given loan out. Loan investment. There will be loan investment. So it's what? Investing activities. Investing activities. Finance income, investment income. They are all linkages to what? Investing activities. They are all linkages. What do we call linkages? Something we can trace to there. Something we can trace there. Don't forget that the non-current assets can further be classified into two. The one I can see physically, which I will charge depreciation upon. The one I cannot see, amortization will be charged. Amortization will be charged. I hope I'm communicating. Let's go to the next one, which is financing activities. As the name indicates, financing activities. Before going to financing activities, if they now ask you, my brothers and sisters, what are the items under investing activities? Just put for the definition, take it one after the other. Acquisition of what? No current assets. Disposal of what? No current assets. Acquisition of investments. Disposal of investments. Because that is what they said. That is what the standard says. So if they have put themselves in the leg, I will take the lapses to give them back, no cramming. I will now go to what? Those linkages that can be traced. Dividend received from investing. I'll put it there too. It's part of it. Interest received from issuing loan to the public. Okay, all those things will be part of the things I will mention if they ask me what are those things under investing activities. Then financing activities, as the name indicates, financing. How does a company source for cash? That is why the standard put it clear. Say it is changing in the size and composition of the equities. What can make equity to change? What can make the equity to change? There are just three things. Share capital. When you issue shares to the public will subscribe to the shares and they give you money. It will make your what equity to change because you have brought in cash. Okay, share premium. Share premium. The share can be issued above the nominal price because when they float the business, you can't expect the business to continue in that line and they will not sell at the market price. It can be issued at what? Market price. Then borrowing. Company also borrow from wealthy individual and the financial institutions. Borrowing is a key activities of financing activities. The key activities in family. Which borrowing are we talking about? Borrowing that take more than 1 year to utilize, to pay back, no current liabilities. That is what we are talking about. There's what are those things that can be linked to financing activities? They are just three. Dividend pay. Who do we pay dividend to? Our shareholder. So it can be linked to what? Financing activities. Finance costs. Interest on borrowing. Interest on our borrowing. It now be what? Okay. Linked to what? Financing activities. And the last one, the asset acquired on lease payments, will also be traced to what? Financing activities. Okay? Having said that, for me to be in any cash flow, either group or simple, financing activities just only 6 items. My brothers and sisters, take note. Financing activities just only 6 items. No more, no less. What are the 6 items? Share capital, share premium, borrowing, dividend pay, finance lease obligation, asset acquired on lease, and the last one, finance cost. It's just only 6 items. Share capital, share premium, borrowing, okay, finance lease, dividend pay, and what? Interest, finance cost. They are just 6 items. And it is very rare occasion. This 1 or 2 I've seen. We are going to solve the question too, that people are asking for less. Okay. A minute, please. Let me just throw a minute, please. Let me just stay with you. A minute, please. Anybody who wants to test me about cash flow, anybody who wants to test my knowledge of cash flow, he must provide this following information for me. Any example like I can, or anybody who wants to test me about the knowledge of cash flow, he must give me One, statement of profit or loss. Current year, statement of profit or loss. Current year. One, he must give me statement of profit or loss. Current year. Two, he must give me statement of financial position. 2 years. If you want to test me about knowledge of cash flow in a conventional manner, you must give me those two first. Then you must also give me the third one, additional information. Additional information. Which information am I expecting in additional information? Which information in additional information? If additional information carries information. One, information that relates to what? Non-cash items. What are the non-cash items? Items that does not involve movement of cash. We have depreciation, amortization, goodwill, either impaired or written off. All those information relating to that must be given to me in additional information. Sometimes for the impairment, they don't give, we compare the year, we get the impairment done. We shall see show you here. Then, which information am I still expecting in additional information? Third one, information on disposal. Information on disposal. What did they say during the year? What can they say? If you need information on disposal, it's waiting for you in additional information. What can they say? One, PPE can be sold, subsidiary can be sold, they can dispose subsidiary. So when we go to group cash flow, you will see so many questions, disposal of subsidiary. Then third, investment. So if I need information on disposal, it's waiting for me in additional information. Then having said that, okay, which information is expecting additional information? Information on dividend pay. It's might. They might decide to give me or not. But in most of the group cash flow question, unless the one is Sapati and the one is Sapati and or $10 question, those two, no problem. Okay, but any other one, they will give you in your statement of change in equity, you just pick the figure. But in case you are not giving, we can calculate that. We'll show you how to calculate dividend pay. Then dividend receipt, interest receipt, if you, investment income, if they are not part of the PRL, it's waiting for me in additional information. It's waiting for me in additional information. It's waiting for me. That is the background cash flow stood. But before I start going to question, let me ask you about this one. Let me clarify on this thing. Dividend pay, dividend receipt, interest pay, interest receipt. Dividend pay is what? Dividend pay, financing activities. Who do I pay dividend to? My shareholder. Dividend receipt is what? Investing activities. I can easily conclude that all pay is financing. Interest pay, dividend pay, interest pay, but dividend receipt, all receipt, dividend receipt is what? Investing. Pay is financing, receipt is what? Investing. But interest paid, some people say it should be part of operating activities. Some say no, it is financing. The two proponents, they did not agree on issue. And ISL cannot just say otherwise. You say anywhere you put it, either you put it in operating or you put it in financing, it's okay by the standard. What are the standards wants to get said, okay, those people who argue that it's operating activities because they said, why am I borrowing? I'm borrowing because of the operation. If I'm borrowing because of the operation, interest on borrowing should be solved by the operation. Some say no, financing activities, borrowing is a financing activities, and interest pay on which is the finance cost or interest payable, as the name has also called, can also be traced towards as a linkages to financing activities. But the standard says anywhere you put it, you are okay, I'm home and dry. They did not say otherwise based on the true method. But for the purpose of this class, I easy understanding, I put it in financing activities. Let's go to question now. You can read everything I've been saying. It's dramatized in the question. Let's go to question. Let's go to question. You can read all my notes. Now, question 1. Daniel PSC is preparing statement of cash flow and has provided this information for the year ended 31st December 2010. If you will tell me if it is inflow or outflow. You will tell me the kind of activities first. If it is operating, financing, you first of all tell me. Then if it is inflow or outflow, you will tell me too. Cash, leave the first one. Cash and cash flow at the beginning. Leave that. You will tell me now the first one. Cash received from customer. Which activities is that? Which activities? Which activities is that? Cash received from customer. You will tell me the type of activities and whether it is inflow or outflow. Okay. People vessel. Thank you. It's okay. Cash paid to suppliers and employees. Cash paid to suppliers and employees. Cash paid to suppliers and employees. Operating outflow. The type of activities will come first. Okay. Cash generated from operating activities, there's no need to do that one because they've said cash generated from operating activities. What do you want to take again? Interest paid. Interest paid. Which activities is interest paid? Interest paid. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Harry. Woman, Francis. Okay, Kenny. Good. Okay. Income tax paid. Income tax paid. Income tax paid. Interest received. Interest received. Interest received. Interest received. Operating Mr. Okechukwu. Mr. Okechukwu is not operating, is an investing. If I don't invest, I cannot get interest. So I'm investing. Dividend received. Inflow. Investing inflow. Investing inflow. Balikis, thank you. Proceed from sales of property, plant, and equipment. Proceed from sales of property. Yes. This is a guy I'll get somebody that know it. Proceed from sales of property, plant, and equipment. Yes. Investing inflow. Proceed from sales of investment. Disposal of discontinued operation. Net of cash disposed of. Disposal of discontinued operation. Correct. Investing, proceed, inflow. Okay, I think you have gotten it very well. The way you are seeing it here is the way you will see it when they give you any question. For example, let me show you this question now. This is a simple group. The way you are saying it there is the same thing here. What is PPE? Which activities is PPE now? Which activities is PPE? Good, good. You will, if they give you the question, you will see answer. Development expedition, which activities? You will see answer immediately they give you the question. Everything. Development expedition, which activities? Investing. Then inventory, which activities is inventory? Good, operating. You must see answer. Immediately I give you the question, you see answer. So on that note, you can go through it. At least you are able to lay the foundation, although we will not be able to solve questions. So don't worry. When we meet on Friday, we will do justice to cash flow. And we also start through cash flow that day. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful night. Thank you. My host,